Hi, this is Dreama, and today we're doing a client reading. And as always, I know the name of the client. They know their name, but I won't be saying it in the video. Now, today's reading is a love relationship reading. And we'll be using actually 7 cards. So let me get them laid out, and I will explain just exactly how it's going to work. And while I'm doing that, I just wanted to let everyone know that the readings now actually are just going to be in my Art Fire store for the time being, okay? And the reason that is just because it allows me a little more control over, emails and things like that. And also, it helps that I don't get overwhelmed with readings. Right now, the processing time for any of the readings is about 3 to 5 business days. So, in order for me to be able to get to everyone's reading, it's just easier for me to manage that now from that website. You'll find the link below, okay, in the box below, okay? Now, how this is going to work is the 3 cards on this side will represent the client, and the 3 cards on this side will be the other person in this love relationship reading, and the center card is what I call the outcome card. So I'm going to start over here with the client, okay, and we have the 6 of Swords, and we have the Ace of Wands, and lastly we have the 2 of Cups. Okay, now I'm going to start with the 6 of Swords. Now, I'm not sure how well you can see the cards, they're kind of dark, but there's a person and they're in a boat, and there are all these swords around them. So what that tells me, now remember we're talking about the client now. What that tells me about the client and this relationship is that it seems that there's some sort of wanting by the client to move away from the relationship. That something deep inside them, there's been some pain that has happened. And the reason I say that is because they're surrounded by these swords and they're kind of pointed at them. So what that tells me is there's been a lot of emotional pain in this relationship, and it's causing the client to kind of question just what is going on and if they need to move on, and it's kind of a decision-making time for them, okay? Now, I'd like to move up here and talk about the 2. Now, the 2 of Cups, this is an interesting card because this card is completely opposite of the Swords. And the reason I say that is because the 2 of Cups is, this card is, it's about, generally it's a love card. And because we are talking about love, what I'm seeing is that, the client right now, that there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of affection and love that they feel for the other person, and almost as if this other person is what they feel they need to make their world complete. As you can see, there's kind of a circle in the card. So the client really feels that this relationship is so important to them that it would make them feel complete. However, there's been a lot of pain in the relationship, which makes them question what they should do next. Okay? Next, we have the Ace of Wands. Now, this is an interesting card because it's a very powerful card. And I'm not sure if you can see, but it's very red. It's what I call a fire card. And what I mean by that is that this card is about new beginnings, about fiery and passionate relationships, kind of the beginning of things, I guess. So what that tells me is what the client hopes will happen is that there'll be a rebirth of this relationship. Not necessarily like a rekindling, but more like the relationship will turn around and all these bad things will just kind of go away. And that's what they're hoping for at this point, okay? All right, next I'm going to move to the other person in the relationship. And we have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Ace of Coins. And we have the Judgment card. Okay. I'm going to start with the Knight of Wands. And again, it's a very powerful card, and it's another fire card, okay? And what I'm getting from this card is that the other person, you know, it's almost like they're a dark kind of person, not on the outside, but on the inside. And they really want to depart from something. There's something in their life that they want to leave behind, okay? But they haven't. They haven't left anything behind, but there is something going on with them that means that they want to leave something behind and kind of depart from a relationship, okay? And next we have the Ace of Coins. Now, that's an interesting card because this card is about, it's really about one thing, if that makes sense. There's one very large coin in the center of the card. And, you know, what that tells me is that there's something going on within their life that they are focusing on this one thing, okay? This one coin is one thing in their life. And it also, you know, I'm also getting that whatever this thing is, they want to leave it behind. I think these cards are connected. So there's something going on in the other person's life that they need to depart from, some sort of relationship that they haven't yet, okay? I think they want to, but there's some reason that they're not doing it. It's holding them back. Whatever this obstacle is, it's holding them back. And last, we have the Judgment card. Now, this is an interesting card because you know, to me, what I get from this card, and remember we're talking about how this relates to a relationship, is that there's some sort of decision that has to be made. And the reason I say that is because, as you can see down here, there are different people below this person. So what that tells me is that this person needs to make some sort of choice in their life to leave some relationships and things like that behind in order to move forward. And it is something they want to do, but there is some sort of obstacle that is holding them back. Okay? All right, and last we have our what I call overall card. And that is the Five of Swords. Now, I'm not sure how well you can see, but he's holding a sword and there are all these other ones down here. Now, remember, this is our outcome card. So this is a combination of if things are the way they are now, you know, in the future, if nothing changes, this is exactly what the outcome will be as of right now. Now, if there are changes in the future, it could change the outcome, okay? So what this tells me is that there's going to be some sort of loss, okay? What this other person is leaving behind, they're going to feel a sense of loss. Because as you can see, they're holding one up and the rest are below. So what that tells me is the outcome of this would be that the other person will actually feel some sort of loss. You know, however, I think that this will be something that they feel, you know, within themselves, okay? Almost as if it's some sort of possession that they feel in this relationship that they're going to lose, okay? There are two swords, actually, that are kind of laying on the ground. You can't see them. So what that tells me is in order for this relationship to work, this person, not the client, the person, there are going to be some things that they have to leave behind. There's an obstacle that they have to get over, okay, and get away with. Because if they don't get away from that obstacle, then the outcome will not be as it is. But I do think that this relationship between these two people, I think it will work, but only if this person actually makes the choice that they need to make. And until they do that, I don't see this working out very well. Once they've made the choice and, you know, gotten rid of whatever this obstacle is, then I think things will be much better. But they have to be willing to leave some things behind, okay, in order for it to work. All right, that does conclude my reading for today. And I want to thank everyone for joining me. And I do hope to see you all again.